Hello everybody and welcome back. Now we will do Scorpio. Now, I went to pause the video, but I think it ended up turning it into a two-parter. So, Scorpio through Pisces is what we will do here. I'll try to make these a little bit quicker because it's getting pretty late. Okay, so we're looking at your energy, your person's energy, and the dynamics. Okay, and on the bottom of the deck energy, we have the Knight of Swords. So some swift communication coming in from either you or your person. So Scorpio, it looks to me like you have been feeling a bit guarded. However, you've also been feeling like, if given the choice, you would continue to fight for this, no matter how, slowly it may go. But, the messages that you've been getting have been that something is cycling out, something is coming to a close. And in the finish, it is what's most fair here and balanced. And I feel like that's what's being communicated to you, is that somebody is trying to come in here and be very, clear in their communication and also fair in their communication that, whatever cycle that you guys had is either changing and becoming something else, or it's closing up. Because you have the World, Justice, Eight of Wands, Nine of Wands, and then the Knight of Pentacles. And so, I don't know, I get the sense that despite this communication coming your way, you don't really want to accept that. Perhaps you feel like if you ignore the messages or if you stay guarded against the messages, then it'll just lose steam or lose meaning, and that then you can still continue on. Because with the Knight of Pentacles here, it's like a slow moving energy, but it's also somebody that's wanting to continue to see it through no matter how long it takes. Has the vision for the long vision. Now your person has made a judgment call that, and this could have been something that they'd been holding close to the vest for a while, but they're communicating to you that they are wanting to walk away and move forward, and then and find their Two of Cups. So this is something also that can be seen. Because there's, with the Judgment and the Four of Pentacles, Judgment, Four of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, the Chariot, and the Two of Cups. This could also be seen as them making a judgment call to walk away from being so guarded, to walk away from being so, closed off and holding back, into fully stepping into their power and embodying what they want to do and how they want to move forward, which would be to, step into the Two of Cups. This could have been them telling you that, hey, we need to make a judgment call here to level up. And you were like, well, it's, you hold back, right? And they could have been communicating to you, well, I want to leave that version of me behind. So you can read this both ways. And with the Chariot here right beneath the Nine of Wands, it's like, the way I see it is, well, if they wanted to move forward and fully embody this Two of Cups energy with you, why would you be guarded against that if you've been wanting them to open up? And despite the guardedness despite the guardedness in the face of that proposal, you're still like, okay, well, we can move forward, but we're moving forward slowly. That's how that's reading. Okay. They could have also been telling you that they want to walk away from something that they have been holding on to. So they've been holding on to something and you've really thought that it was unfair that they were holding on to something. Maybe there's a guardedness in you because you don't trust that they're really telling the truth, that they are finally going to let this thing go. Damn it. Sorry, it's late and I'm like starting to fumble these cards. Yep, that's what this is saying. That's exactly what this is saying. Okay, so your person wants to level up, okay? And with the Wheel of Fortune here, I feel like they're like, let's make this decision, and here we have Three of Cups. So this is interesting from what I'm about to tell you. So with the Wheel of Fortune here, it's like they're like, hey, yeah, let's level up here. Let's close out this old cycle of whatever it was and move forward together. And you're like, well, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, well, what if this just kind of, this has been a pattern, like, what if this keeps going this way, But then it's kind of like, well, let's make this choice. Let's make this choice and see how it goes, We'll make our choice and we'll get clearer. And you're like, okay, well, you got to let go of this Queen of Wands. Whoever this Queen of Wands is, And they're like, okay, I'll walk away from the Queen of Wands, And And the message of walking away from holding on to this Queen of Wands, you know, you're saying, well, that's what would be the most fair for us to move forward together. And, you know, in their communication, it's like you see them as the King of Wands, right? We have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands here. So it's like, you know, perhaps your person is taking the lead in this. It's like their idea, like they're wanting to step up, you know. And then, you know, you're guarded because it's like you remember how this wheel of fortune just kind of turns, and you're aware that like maybe there's still a friendship with this person, or there's some third party energy, right? And it's like you're wary because it almost sounds too good to be true. Because we have the sun over the Chariot here, and your guardedness against that. So it sounds like it's too good to be true, but ultimately in the finish, we have the Knight of Pentacles over the Two of Cups, and then the Fool. So it's like, yeah, let's start anew. Let's start anew. And you're like, all right, well, you know, I'm still wary about this, and I do want this, but it's like it's gonna take me a while to fully trust. To fully trust that this is what you want. I'm looking at this again because I feel like it can be read in another way too. But the thing is, the other way that it can be read is that you came forward and said, we have to close this out because you're continuing to hold on to the Queen of Wands. And maybe, see now I'm like, yeah, because the thing is like they're walking away from the holding back energy, and then embodying the next phase. I think it's the King of Wands that's throwing me off here, because the King of Wands is right here and it's looking at the Queen there. So I don't know if this is them saying, well, I'm going to walk away from this connection because I can't let go of this person. And I'm going to embody my chariot, and I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do this new cycle. I guess you could read it both ways. So, I mean, take it how it resonates. I'm sorry that that's confusing. But yet, the judgment is also a resurrection. And with the resurrection then, with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, okay, this is coming around again. So is this coming around again so you guys can level up? Because a world is a closing out, but it's also a leveling up. It's like coming away from an old way of doing something and doing it in a new way. You know, like say somebody who's been in school and then graduates. It's like they're still in the field, but they're not a student in the field anymore now that they're a practitioner, right? Okay, so Scorpio, it looks like you're either starting a brand new cycle over with an old flame that you've been around the block with a few times. This could have been somebody who had been showing a level of infidelity to you in the past, and now they're saying like I'm done, like I'm gonna walk away from this lifestyle, like this particular affair partner, and we're gonna move forward together. That's one way of reading these cards. Another way of reading these cards is you saying, I can't do this anymore. We're closing this out because this is what's fair to me. And, I'm communicating that, and I'm also pretty guarded, even though there's a part of me that still wants to fight for this. This is like the judgment. And so like your person could then respond and like kind of make the decision to then hold on to the Queen of Wands and walk away from the connection and embody the King of Wands to partner up with that person. And then they somehow find the sun in there moving forward with them in the Two of Cups energy. And then this is actually a blessing in disguise for you to finally be done with this shitty, repetitive partner who continues to cheat on you. Because let's face it, if they cheated on you, they would cheat on the Queen of Wands. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, that baggage goes with, And so then this person, that would be a starting over for both of you. So this can be seen also as you slowly moving towards whatever it is you want to plant your new seed in, and like building your life back, right? Like building your own, like going off near own horizons. And this is them doing the Two of Cups with somebody else, and then you're both having a new beginning separately. So these cards can be read both ways. So take it as it resonates. Okay. And the thing is that the Eight of Cups is also underneath the Eight of Wands. So it's like the communication comes in and then there's a walking away. Let's see if this adds any clarity. And with the Three of Cups on the bottom, there was like that's kind of, that can be third party energy. Yeah. Nah. This person, okay, if they're saying that they are going to cut this person out and go with you, they're still going to be keeping this third party around. Because we have, and then at the bottom, there's the Strength. So it's like, okay, that's holding back in some way. Taming the base desires. But what we have here then is we have the Page of Wands. Oops. We have the Page of Wands, which would be pursuing anew. What am I doing? Pursuing a new inspiration, right? And then there's like the Hanged Man is like not really, it's kind of just surrendering and thinking about it and not really doing anything, but yet it's like they're not doing anything, and the third cup is still here, the third person's still here. So it's kind of like, okay, if they say that they're walking away from that person, that might not be true. They might still keep them around in some way. I think the advice is for you to trust your intuition on this one. And ultimately, whenever we make our choices, it's neither good nor bad. We just get clearer, you know, because the Wheel of Fortune is also the Wheel of Karma, so it's a karmic lesson that we can continue to learn. Or if it needs to come back around again, then we're given another opportunity to learn. So if you find, if what I'm saying is resonating with you, and you've been with somebody who's been cheating on you or who has cheated on you in the past, you know, how many times have you had that kind of conversation? Surrender worry. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety-driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that Spirit is guiding you always. Perfect. Yeah. Whatever decision you make is going to be the right one. And then you'll just see, right? Either this person will totally come through, and if the way that I read it the first time is the way that it is, then great. Even if you still choose, whatever you choose is going to be the right choice. This is saying follow your heart and don't worry about whether or not you made the best choice or not, right? Okay, so that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Okay, let's move on to Sagittarius. Okay, so Sagittarius, bottom of the deck energy is the Hermit. Okay, so there's something that you've really been doing a lot of soul searching on. You're trusting your inner guru. Perhaps a lot of healing on a situation. But nonetheless, something you've meditated on and really um, have decided on and like are thinking about it in a way that's very much grounded in the best direction to go in. Okay, so you know you're sitting in a really good spot right now with a lot of stability, a lot of it's like you got all your tangibles on lock, you know, and along the way you have had help from friends, you've had help from colleagues, people who have showed up for you with so much love and compassion and care. And there's something about you right now where you're like, thank you guys so much for getting me and to where I need to be and like supporting me on this journey. And like now I'm gonna go like have my next chapter. You know, it's like there's something about this aspect of your reading that feels a lot like you kind of not leaving your people behind, but somewhat like flying the nest. You know, it's like you got a lot of support from these folks and it really helped you get to where you are. And now you're feeling enough confidence and stability to do something on your own, to continue on your own. So I don't know what it is that you were working on with these people, but you know, this has been a really good community for you for a long time, and they're still in your community. Or just kind of doing something solo now. Okay, so with whoever you were with, or you know, whatever's attached to you, they see that their work with you was instrumental, like in integrating something inside of them that really helped them learn how to communicate and problem solve and, you know, work, like basically their work with you, through their experience they feel like they have acquired so many, like it's really made them into the person that they are now when it comes to working with other people in a very, very positive way. um they like they feel like they definitely feel like they owe it to you, that they now know how to work with other people and be very truthful and be able to step up when it matters most, and to be fair and also approach the things that they do in their work life and their relationships as a whole in a really like balanced way, with regard to like balancing work and life. And like they really learned a lot from you. Like this feels like you mentored them at the same time that they supported you. You know, it's really, it feels very beautiful. And you know, this person or these people definitely feel like they learned so much from you, and that they have integrated what you have taught them along the way. And they feel now that they, as you are departing and like kind of doing something solo, that they are, what they have learned from you and integrated, that for them that they're able to step through the threshold into a new phase of their life as well, because they gained so much from you. And you know, the way that these relationships began were very light and fun, and you know, I feel like you guys have really taken some time to speak with one another about how much you both have grown and how the very beginning, when you all first met, you didn't realize how deep these connections would become, and how much all of you would grow and become more like solid, stable versions of yourselves. In the very early days, you guys would have a lot of fun, and it was very, like cool, and like everyone was just like pals and all the things. But as time went on, there was such a deepening to these connections that you'll all like cherish forever. This is beautiful. And there's always been there's just so much love in this community that you guys have built with each other. And I feel like the hermit energy here is really speaking to you, your process of having meditated on this, that there was going to be a transitioning, to doing some solo projects apart from one another. So this is beautiful. This is really beautiful, Sagittarius. I think this is a really good read. I feel like this is totally a reading that speaks to like mentorship and friendship rather than a romantic involvement. Yeah, this is beautiful. And the thing is that even with this shift, there is some pain, but it's not like a hard pain. It's more like a bittersweet. There's a bittersweetness here. So through this really does confirm a lot of what I already said, is that through this love and community, there's been a growth for everybody involved on a very spiritual level. This connection has really helped everybody shift perspective at one point or another, and with regard to their own spirituality, and really helped everybody look at things in their life that would come down the pike, and taking a moment, taking a pause to be like, yeah, I could really see this in a different way. It's like through these connections and this friendship and this like spiritual deepening, and just really expanded how you all look at life and look at people and things. There's been an opening, an expansion through these friendships and this community. And it was interesting in the beginning, when things were kind of moving from the fun time phase into like the more, like, as these friendships deepened and as this education or the learning happened with each other, everybody learned so much more about their own sense of self and their core sense, and there was a I don't know if the consolidation is the right word, but like a kind of a reconciliation between, and an ongoing process between like the base kind of desires and the higher knowing, and like all those parts coming together over time to create like such a more solid core. And everybody's confidence grew as their knowledge grew, as they learned, from you, and even about themselves and from each other. It's like there was so much more confidence that grew inside of them as well. And through this work and this transition, it's like everybody has come to trust their inner guru so much more, through this work with one another, through all this teamwork. It's been beautiful. And ultimately, with the right thing being that, now it's kind of time for everyone to flee the nest and go do their own projects and still stay in touch. It's like everybody is on to, go find to follow their dreams, and to make their wishes a reality. It's beautiful. This was like a team of people, for sure. Definitely friendships and connections that will last a lifetime. It's like those kinds of friendships and relationships where like you have a soul bond, and no matter how many months go by, that you can connect any time in the future, and it's like you pick up where you left off. It's that much bonding. It's like soul family, soul family. That's what this reading is about. Surrender to your full power. Everyone is surrendering to their full power and graduating and moving on. Your life is calling for you to step into your full power rather than playing it small. Yeah, everyone's going after their dreams. And these friendships have helped everybody do that. Okay, Sagittarius, that is what I have for you. We are going to move on to Capricorn. Okay, and then Two of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So some stalemate energy. Okay, or some sort of, Ambivalence. All right. So Capricorn, it looks like the main theme is you you want to get in your chariot and go. Like you it's kind of like being reborn, you know? It's like you're like, I just want to, how do I want to embody the next cycle of my life? And I think and I feel like, you know, you have spent time in like the Knight of Wands energy. So it's like there's libidinal energy with 7 of Swords and then 6 of Wands. And so it's like, the way I see it is like you've spent your time having fun, getting away with stuff, you know, like not really, you know, basically withholding information from other people, you know, while you did whatever you wanted to do, you know, just like you've just been having fun. And, you know, there's something about, so with the 6 of Wands, the character in that card has been in battle, right? And then they're coming back. It's like a homecoming, you know. And it's like they come home and they get, you know, there's a lot of praise and accolades, right? So it's like I see that this is like, you've been doing this, but now you're like, okay, well, how do I want to return from this? You know, I've been doing this, that's been fun, it's been, you know, but now I'm here and I want to show up. And so like, how do I want to show up? And I feel like you're in process of figuring that out with the Chariot, right? It's like the Chariot is how we're going to be embodying our life. And you definitely know that you want to show up victorious. Like whatever it is that you're going to engage in, you want to win. And you want to always show up appearing confident, in control, like totally like you got it, you know? And so that's something for sure where you're like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to embark on the next adventure. And, you know, we'll see what that is. And so the person connected to you is very independent, definitely has their shit together, is also kind of seeking out their next adventure. They're looking at their inspiration, and, you know, I see that they are, you know, still communicating with you. And there are small gestures on either side of the communication with you. Small gestures of like initiation, like taking action on something, and also, you know, some sort of emotional gesture, some sort of expression of love or expression of friendship or care, just kind of some, still there's like small emotional connection with you, and also action oriented, you know. And in the finish there's this King of Wands energy. So I mean, this to me looks like, it looks like two people that are connected energetically but are really kind of doing their own thing in parallel. It's like I see you starting your own next cycle, but this person is in a way as well, because in the finish it's like they have this King of Wands energy where they find a way to step into their own power. There's like a traveling, right? Maybe not even like a real physical traveling, but like a spiritual traveling. This could mean like, if there's energetic connection between you two, but there could be little communication right now. Like maybe you guys still like stay in touch, but it's just like small bits. Kind of like checking in, like, hey, how you doing? Kind of stuff. Maybe I think you were friends who once had a connection. And that connection at one time, it's like you both, okay. Okay. So with the Knight of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles, there's a Ten of Cups. So it's like either you guys had this Ten of Cups together at one point, but like still were both like single and not really attached, like not committed to each other. Or you guys had that commitment and then now are solo, free agents basically. And there's some sort of revelation here coming out over the Seven of Pentacles or Seven of Swords and the Page of Wands. It's like, I think maybe the truth is that you both wanted to pursue your own things, and you were also maybe kind of done denying yourself your want to have a brand new beginning somewhere else. And then so there was also, with the Six of Wands and the Eight of Wands, there's the Page of Swords on top of that. So a communication, a conversation, there was a conversation was initiated, and there were messages. There was a conversation about, about you and like and when I say ego, I don't mean like ego, but like yourself, like what you wanted to do and like how, I don't know, maybe there was just a conversation about how you wanted attention or liked the attention, right, that you received at one time. And while there was an offering of a cup from this person to you, I don't know, like like the Sun is over the Chariot and the Page of Cups, so it's like I feel like you're wanting to express and discover how you wanted to embody the next phase and the next fool's journey of your life really illuminated. Like that became more illuminated to you, and that this Page of Cups energy coming from your person who is like kind of living, they're doing their own thing, you're doing your own thing. I feel like that cup is like their blessing, like, yeah, okay, like this is good for both of us. And with the Fool and then the King of Wands, it's like, it's interesting, like there's guarded energy over that, like guarded energy of this person stepping into their power and then you going on. It's like you're stepping into a new phase, and then there is this, you know. So you want to be aware of going into your next phase on your next cycle, carrying any of the old wounds that you have from any point in your past, you know. I mean, because this looks very freeing up here, but then this looks like energy that would kind of stymie your launch, so to speak. And not that you wouldn't go, but carrying that with you into the next phase, right? Carrying that wounded, guarded sense of self into the next phase. That's something to consider in how you want to show up, right? Oh, and then at the bottom of the deck, before I did that little shuffle, we had the World. So a closing of a cycle and a beginning of a new one for you. To go and offer your cup and invest in something and see what you can make of it. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. So yeah, that's the vibe that I get from this, is that you got like the whoever you're connected with, it's like you're connected energetically because at one point you did share a lot of time and experiences, but I think that the truth of the matter is that you both, you know, kind of discussed it and came to the conclusion that like if you were going to be starting your next new thing and they're going to be starting their next new thing, and it just looked different, you know, it wasn't going to be together, but it's like there, you know, you might say hey every once in a while. That's kind of what it looks like here, but it looks like you're both respectively on to like new adventures, you know. Your person looks like they're kind of stepping more into their power as they go from like 2-page energy. And on either end, they have this very pre-Empress energy, and then they have the King of Wands. So that's really powerful. That's really strong. It's very grounded. And you have some energy as well. I think the invitation is to spend more time before you launch onto your next fool's journey, really getting clear on how it is you want to show up in your next phase of life and how you want to embody your next phase of life. It's like both is solo journeys, you know. Like separate but connected a little bit. Surrender your desire to control people. Whoa, okay. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. Nice. Oop. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Capricorn. 2 more. Going to bed. Oh my God. It's the first time I've ever done one of these readings where I did all 12 in a row. I was like, I'll just do 12 quick ones in a row. Yeah, each of them were like anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. So So, yeah, 15 times 12. How many minutes is that? I don't even know. 3 hours? 3 hours. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I've definitely been on here longer than that. Okay, Aquarius. I think my favorite reading of the night so far was Sagittarius, for sure. I like that. I like the Capricorn one too. There was something very, very sweet about it. Very freeing, very unconditional love. Like in the very beginning, in the first video, there was like the Judgment and the Devil came out in like every read. Okay. All right. So Aquarius, it would appear that you, and on the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles. So someone feeling out in the cold in this one. So there's been a new inspiration for you. There's somewhere else that you want to plant your seed, or some new seed that you want to plant somewhere. Okay. You're wanting to grow something from scratch. And, you know, I feel like you have been in conflict with yourself about this for a while. But you have been waiting for some sort of sign, you know. You've been waiting for something, but I feel like you got to a point where you're like, well, I'm not going to I can't wait anymore. So it's going to be on me to just like trust my intuition and like make this decision and step through the gateway. Like everything that I have behind me, I have integrated up until this point, and now it's totally up to me. It's not up to anybody else. And I feel like with the High Priestess here, you really trusted your intuition in this decision, and you also did a lot of soul searching, or at least are on the precipice. Either you did a lot of soul searching or you have in your life, and you're on the precipice of doing that again, but you know, she's here, and so that's an invitation for you to go within. And I feel like you have, and you evaluated, you know, all the cause and effect that could happen, and you just decided, well, you know, I'm going to go for it because I really want to plant this new seed, and you know, I'll make my choice and I'll get clearer. And I just know that forward movement is a part of my fate and a part of my destiny to step through this gateway, you know. And so your person, you know, with you planting this new seed, this transforms something on a very deep level for them. Like something is ending in an irrevocable way for them. And, you know, I would imagine that this is probably the end of your love relationship with them. And so given that it's ending, your person is figuring out how to embody the next phase of their life, and they're doing it. They know they got to do it because it's like they don't have a choice, and they're feeling a bit guarded and defensive and quite frankly bereaved. This is really sad for them, and they're pissed. They're hurt and they're they got their defenses up around this. It's like, you're like, I gotta go find myself, or I gotta go, there's some sort of thing that I gotta do, and it's just time, and I hear the call, basically, and your person's like, well, fuck, man, thanks. But, what can you do? You're not doing it to hurt them. It's not even about them entirely. It's about you and what you want. It's the ending of your stability that you guys had together. Maybe you're feeling like you needed to go find somewhere else where you were more appreciated. Because over time, like, the stability that you knew here became chaotic, like inside of you, and maybe even in this connection as well. And it's just like this situation, this decision has been very overwhelming and has been very emotional for both of you. And while this choice has been made, and they're left grieving, it's like, yeah, you're still inspired, and you needed to step through the gateway because of these things, but you're coming out of it pretty wounded, but despite that, you're still gonna move forward, and because you feel like whatever this next thing is, I don't think you know exactly what it is yet. You just know you need to depart and, maybe do some traveling or something like that. That's a possibility. I get this energy that it's like, okay, you've gotten to some point where you're like, I've been feeling stagnant, and like I feel like I need to find myself or find a new part of myself, or like there's something about you wanting to just kind of step away for a while. And I think you are feeling pretty guarded at this time as well, so I don't see you leaving this relationship in order to like jump into another one. Like, I feel like this is more about like a soul journey, like a soul quest. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Cups. So, this could even be about like you having a conversation with yourself about how you show up in relationship and what do you want in your life emotionally. Like like maybe you didn't feel like you were as appreciated as you once were. Like everything became so stable that it was kind of stagnant. Yeah. So your path remains mystery. You just know you want the new. And your person has a lot more feelings about this. You both have a lot of feelings about it, I will say, but you know, you're the one that's departing. Surrender to play. Take a break from overthinking. Okay, take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Aquarius. Now we will move on to the final sign, Pisces. And then it will be bedtime. Bedtime for me. I do not think that I will start in all signs at 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night. Ever again. But I actually do like doing them all in one. Because it's like, sometimes it's like I've been doing all the signs like in their groups and have them done and just like upload one video a day. And I'm just trying to switch things up a little bit to see like what works. And I said this in the beginning of the video, but I requested to get permission to go live or get whatever it is. Verification, authorization to go live. So I think that what I'll do is I could do lives and do all signs on the evenings that I don't have my kids. Thank you so much for liking the videos, or video, I should say. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that energetic support. The little click on the thumb does so much. It really does. And any and all comments. For real. Even if you just want to chime in and be like, girl, you take too long to shuffle. But I love the way that you read. That'll work. Now you could say whatever you want. I'm totally fine with that. I have enough ego strength to withstand any and all trolls. I give 0 fucks. But I would love it if you guys would say something, engage. This is for Pisces. This is for Pisces. This is for Pisces. This is for Pisces. Oops. Okay, bottom of the deck, energy, strength, Okay, so you could be holding back on something or trying to integrate your lower base desires and your higher knowing. All right, so Pisces. Excuse me. So Pisces, something has come to a final end, and this could have some legal ramifications around it and it's been quite contentious and very kind of like folks involved have been wanting to win at all cost, and for you it's left you feeling very guarded and like pretty beat down, this whole process. But in the finish, like, you are determined to not let this break your spirit. You are also in a spot where it's like the Nine of Cups. It's like a happy, gregarious card and all of the things. However, it does come after the 8. And, it's like when we walk away from something and we're stepping into the Nine of Cups energy, we're like trying to get our groove back, So you could be like trying to go out and have fun and trying to, try on old stuff that, used to make you happy in the past that maybe you haven't done in a good long time. And then, you go out and do some of those things, and then you see whether or not it hits the same as it used to. Some things might, some things might not, and that's okay. It's all learning experience. You're not the same person that you were before this death, before this finality. But essentially you're kind of like, okay, well, I'll fake it till I make it. Like, I'm going to do my very best to put on a brave face and share my positivity with others, and to just try to have some lightness in my life. This has been pretty gnarly with all the conflict and just the finality of this ending. And it's like on one end you feel really beaten up, but continuing to move forward. Like, that's the other thing about this energy, the Nine of Wands. You're beaten up, but you're going to see this through. Like, you're going to live to fight another day, right? And so you're going through this. It's like you got the Nine of Wands, Five of Swords, the Justice, and the Death. And then after that's all done, you got the Nine of Cups. So you're like, okay, once I'm done with this, I'm just going to be able to like take a sigh of relief and think about me and mine and just, enjoy. Okay, so the person connected to you, High Priestess, Page of Swords, Two of Wands, Six of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. So, this person, it's like they're trying to stay, it's like they want to be guided by their intuition here, and they could be pretty secretive. It would appear that, any kind of small gesture at communication could devolve into a argument of some kind, but it's like they've made a decision, right? They've made a decision and they've come out of it on the other end quite victorious. And in the finish for them, they got the Ten of Pentacles. So they ended up, they have stability and they have coin and all of those things, right? So let's see. Okay. So initially the intuition was saying I want to follow a new inspiration of some kind, okay? And this is a page of wands, so I think that they were the ones who initiated this page of wands, this beginner energy in a new direction, and with a new action, a new inspiration, whatever it was. And with you being in the Nine of Wands energy, you're kind of like defensive and guarded against that. Like you didn't really want that, but like, and that really did put you through the ringer, like this person's decision to do this, to initiate something. You're like, okay, I don't have any choice in the matter. I gotta do it. I gotta keep on fighting. And so as the fighting and the conversations would happen, there's like a doling out, you get a little bit, you get a little bit. This really just does like scream divorce to me, the whole reading. But yeah, it's like that person's holding the scales and doling out the stuff, right? Trying to be even and balanced and handing out the things. And then, with the Justice and the Two of Wands, we have the Sun. So it's like everything's revealed. When the Justice shows up, it's kind of like a ruling has been made, like the decision has been made, like it's done, it's wrapped. So like that can be a good thing, like really happy to be through this time, through this process, just coming to an end with that. And then we have the Hierophant over the Death and the Six of Wands. So, someone coming out victorious here, final ending of a commitment, of a marriage here. And this is, this was counsel. This is also considered counsel. And then with the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, we have Judgment. So the judgment had been made. This is where things lay. And, and it was like, hearing the call and getting it all figured out and wrapped up, basically. Yeah, pretty straightforward. In the bottom, you have the King of Wands. So leadership energy, initiation energy, very sexy, very ready to get your groove back kind of vibes. Yeah. Looked like it was a difficult process for sure, but in the finish, it's like, it just looks like a relief to be done, Surrender to wonder and awe. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. Yeah, sometimes that's all you can do. Like, the only moment is now. And what a beautiful, wonderful thing. Okay, Pisces, well, this has been really, really something. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate the time and all the likes, shares, and subscribes. And this was an experience. this was an experience. It was really a long video, and this is part 2. I only wanted to pause it, but I think it created a second video. So anyways, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.